What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is the Marathon Alpha intro cinematic. I'm assuming it'll be the same for full release, but they specifically have labeled this as Alpha intro, so it could change. Obviously, the game's not out, so obviously everything that's in the alpha could change. Alpha's also not under NDA anymore. I also released the Traxxas, like, I believe, recruitment video for runners. I have a short on it. I might make a more breakdown video on like that and lore after this, but for now, this is the alpha intro cinematic, so let's get into it.
Initiating runner defragmentation protocol.
Okay.
Evaluating shell integrity.
Defragmentation.
Evaluating vital signs. Evaluating recognition response. Executing neurological subroutine. Loading memory packages. Liminal buffer status 26%. Assert. Subject is a runner. A disconnected consciousness inhabiting a bio-cybernetic shell. Assert. Subject's psyche was ejected from their body at the moment of their death.
Okay.
Assert. Subject's consciousness is preserved while a new shell is printed. Please stand by. Assert. Runners arrived in the Tau Centi system after the investigation of a distress signal from the lost colony ship, the UESC Marathon. Assert. Runners are mercenaries, hired to salvage from the ruins of the human colony on Tau Centi IV. Assert. Runners are hunted by the Unified Earth Space Council. Subject must deal with these threats at their own discretion. Warning. Cognition runtime error. Proceeding with suboptimal durability settings. Liminal buffer status 100%. Runner defragmentation complete. Welcome back, runner. This is only your mandatory support AI. Your new shell will be ready momentarily, and you will return to Tau Centi IV for your next assignment. Please prepare for consciousness transfer in 3, 2, 1. Initiate. Good luck.
Okay. Okay. So that's interesting. So quickly, well, not quickly. I want to do a bit of a breakdown here. Just a little bit. So we're going to turn down the volume. Well, for now. I want to see if there's anything in here that, oh. Still had the volume. Okay. So we have, this is that one runner that does like the pulse scan. And so I don't know what company this is. This might be Sakaguchi, I believe. I think this is Sakaguchi, the company that makes the suits. I don't know. This is just a bunch of zeros. This looks like it's kind of like gear almost. Like, okay, hang on. We'll turn on the volume real quick just so we can see what they're saying.
Shell integrity. Evaluating vital signs.
Okay, so actually this looks like Sakaguchi. Oh no, this is there's another company. I'll come back to that later, but
Evaluating recognition response.
okay.
Executing neurological.
These by the way are I think they're like the Sakaguchi there's like worms. Like Sakaguchi created like these like fabric worms that basically can just create like this biomatter out of nothing, like essentially. So like Sakaguchi created this, and then now they can make shells, which, as they say later on, like the runner, your like consciousness gets planted into the shells, and then when you die, your consciousness is pulled out, your psyche is pulled out, and then a new shell is created. You get planted into the new shell.
Subroutine.
Hang on, wait. I think I saw something.
Executing neurological subroutine.
Neuro subroutine, okay. Cohesion, fail, passphrase, failure. Okay. Loading memory package.
Liminal buffer status 20.
Liminal
6%.
buffer stasis.
Assert. Subject is a runner. A
Okay.
disconnected consciousness inhabiting a bio-cybernetic shell.
Yeah. So those cybernetic shells are created by Sakaguchi Sakaguchi Genetics, I think, or Sakaguchi something. But basically, Sakaguchi is the company that makes um, the uh, the shells, and I believe this is their company logo, but I'm not positive. It's in the it's in the Vulcan trailer that I'm gonna kind of break down a little bit after this.
Subject's psyche was ejected from their body at the moment of their death.
So that showed that was glitch. I think like right before you could see. Right here it says glitch. And also, okay, so I'll talk about it later. Eject transfer.
Subject's consciousness is preserved while a new shell is printed. Please stand
Okay.
by. Assert. Runners arrived in the Tau Centi.
Yeah. So this is a little bit more of like the lore of why we're here. There's still a lot of questions, like who sent out the distress signal. Again, something else that I'll kind of get into that I'm confused about. Could be something that's in the lore that I don't know about, but as far as I know from like the very few lore videos that I've watched, shout out to My Name is Bife, Goat for Destiny, and if he keeps making marathon stuff, I'll definitely keep checking him out. But
System after the investigation of a distress signal from the lost colony.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the Tau.
From the lost.
This is the Tau Ceti system, but then this I think is Tau Ceti IV, right here, because the marathon ship.
Colony ship, the UESC Marathon.
Yeah. So the UESC Marathon is orbiting Tau Ceti IV, which is the planet that we're going to be going to. Might be a moon, I don't know. This is Deimos, by the way, which in the lore of Marathon, I have found out again through My Name is Bife. He's made a couple of Marathon videos. He did one with I forgot his name, but I guess someone that's really prominent in the Marathon lore. I apologize. I don't remember your name, but basically, My Name is Bife has a video with him. It's like a longer one where he kind of talks to him and picks his brain about Marathon stuff because My Name is Bife isn't as familiar with it currently. So shout out to them both. But I do know that Deimos is, I believe, one of the moons of Mars, which the UESC with what company was it? The UESC with somebody else. I forgot who it was, but another company. Basically, like preyed kind of on the poor people that lived on Mars, and like basically bought the moon from them, the moon of Mars from them, hollowed it out, and then created a shell, like a ship inside of it, which is the Marathon. So Deimos is literally like the outer ring. I don't know if it'll show it here, but like this outer green shell is the moon of Mars, Deimos. And then Marathon is like, I guess this blue part, but like technically also the like moon part. Like this is all the Marathon, like the new ship that they made.
The UESC Marathon.
So there is a hull breach, which is caused by what I understand an attack from the Four, which is like an alien race in the Marathon universe.
Assert. Runners are mercenaries.
Okay, so runners are mercenaries.
To salvage from the ruins of the human colony on Tau Ceti IV.
Okay, so maybe this is where I'm confused, I guess. So here's a better look. Like all this outer green shell is the moon of Mars, like Deimos, that they built the Marathon like body, the ship body, inside of. Okay, so I believe these are all the companies, but I don't see Traxxas on here, so I'm not exactly sure now what these are. But it's saying that runners are mercenaries hired to salvage the ruins of UESC colonies on Tau Ceti IV, right? Which is fine, but
Colony on Tau Ceti IV. Assert runners are hunted by the Unified Earth Space Council.
runners are hunted
Runners are hunted by the Unified Earth Space Council.
by the Unified Earth Space Council. Okay, so they're hunted by them.
Subject must deal with these threats at their own discretion. Warning, cognition runtime error, proceeding with suboptimal durability settings. Liminal buffer status 100%. Runner defragmentation complete. Welcome back, runner. This is Oni, your
Okay.
mandatory.
So Oni seems to be this like AI that you're talking to. So that's important. I've also heard AI is really important in the Marathon universe. Just so you know.
Support AI. Your new shell will be ready momentarily, and you will return to Tau Ceti IV for your next assignment. Please prepare for consciousness transfer in 3, 2, 1. Initiate.
Okay. So quickly, I'm gonna change over to another video, the Vulcan video. All right, so this is the Vulcan Traxxas intro. So a few things here, real quick. Down here, right? Excuse the activate windows. I'm poor. Okay. Um. This okay. So this is Brody the Hobbit, right? Blah blah blah. Steam. So this is definitely what makes me think that this is for sure like an in-game like. I believe this is the in-game terminal. And if you don't know, some of the people that have played the game have said that there's like a terminal that you go to for like your factions, your lore, like all this stuff. Like this is how you like kind of like get yourself set up, for like anything story related potentially to get into the world. I don't know if this is also where you do your pregame loadout. I'm not sure. But this definitely like, leads me to believe this is like in-game stuff because one, there's like a friends list here. I think this is for the squad, so this is you, and then two other people. There's a mail here, so anything like news related that they want to send you, or gifts, or whatever. Settings, obviously, and then this is probably like maybe like an FAQ page, or this leads you to their website, like if you need help, or maybe this is for just like hints in general. And then obviously back here, but so here is another thing, right? It says here, NetDive cast Q term. I think this is just NetDive. I think this is just like a weird way of just a font, whatever. But here it says season 0, right? So that's also curious. That probably is some sort of like alpha test season. Like instead of season 1 when the game launches, this is probably their like season 0, right? Syak, I don't know who that is. But it is this image right here. So I'm assuming that maybe this is because you're currently aligned with this company, Syak, right? And you're at 0 of 1800, so maybe that's like your reputation for that current level. Maybe this is level 1 and you have to get to 1800 to boost it up. I don't know what this is. Maybe this is like a prestige system, but I'm not sure. I don't know what this is. It just says PRI. I don't know. This is new, or NU. This is another company that in the cinematic for the narrative stuff, and also you can see it in the gameplay. But it seems to be kind of like more of the like the organics company for like food and like nutrients, like NU, right? Nutrients. Like I think that this is like the food company, kind of like the distributor, right? And then for the video purposes, it looks like you're establishing the link to potentially join the Traxxas faction. Because here it says factions 2, right? And I think that might just be like 2 new items. So like you already have Syak and you're already established with them. But then you can also join NU and Traxxas, right? And this is specifically the Traxxas Vulcan. I don't know what Vulcan is, but this is the Traxxas like recruitment video. And then here we have Sekaguchi Genetics, which This is their logo. I was trying to figure it out in the alpha intro, but this is the Sakaguchi Genetics logo, which, by the way, they make your shells. And then these other two. Okay, so I have actually no idea who these companies are, and I tried scouring as much as I could really quickly, see if I can get a name, but I don't know who these two are. This one I've definitely seen in the trailers recently. I don't know who Syak is, but it seems to be a company that you're currently aligned with, at least in this intro, or not this intro, this Traxxas video. And then yeah, so I think I'm gonna assume that there's only gonna be 3. I doubt that they're gonna have all 6 for the alpha. That just wouldn't make a lot of sense. And then okay, so seeking source, a bunch of random shit like connection established with a fucking lion. Traxxas, there you go. That's the company. Looks like some sort of cybernetic, runner potentially. Okay, Vulcan. So maybe Vulcan is like the like AI or something that's talking to you. But basically, I'm gonna let you listen to it.
Attention all runners. Traxxas Off-World Industries is currently seeking candidates for resource extraction on Tau Centi IV. Traxxas Off-World Industries is the interplanetary economic leader across every major industrial category. Align with a corporation at the forefront of innovation and gain access to cutting-edge equipment and sponsorship. Please note, applicants will not be considered Traxxas employees. As non-corporate temporary assets, runners are not entitled to any worker protections or corporate representation.
Okay. So yeah. So basically, just kind of like corporate garbage, right? But basically, Traxxas is like, hey, join us. You'll have cutting edge tech. You'll have access to all this stuff. And they're basically putting out a contract for runners to go to Tau Ceti IV. So what I previously thought was that the United UESC, the United whatever the hell it was, forgot what it was called, but basically I thought the UESC was sending out runners to collect like their old gear from like places that they had, but then I was confused why you were getting attacked by their security droids. The only thing I can think is maybe there's certain sections of those areas that you're not allowed to get into, so that's why they're protecting it. But a lot of the droids or robots, whatever, on Tau Ceti from the gameplay seemed to just like on site, right? Like there didn't seem to be like a vicinity of like you can't come here. It was just like anytime they saw you, they're just killing you. So that's what I was that's what I was confused about previously. But now just based off of this and like all these factions and stuff and kind of some of that extra lore we've got, I'm assuming maybe like these companies are like hiring you through a contract to go loot the UESC, but kind of like illegally, right? Like you're not supposed to be doing this. That's why you're not considered a Traxxas employee. It's probably also so they can cut costs, but basically you're going in as a contract person where they'll provide you with tech and like access to tech where you can buy tech and you earn it, and you know what I'm saying? But you're not considered a full employee, so therefore, protections and corporate representation, blah, blah, blah. Basically, so probably they don't get caught in the act of doing it. But yeah, it's, like I said, I think this is definitely like at that terminal that we've heard about. Anyway, I think this is going to be the faction selection screen, like in-game. Like I said, a lot of this, like escape, friends list, all this. This definitely gives me like, a terminal kind of vibe. Also this, literally like your player profile, basically. This, I don't know what this is. This could be like your like power, but I'm gonna assume not. I think this is like maybe credits, right? Like obviously now that I'm thinking about it, credits, so probably like your currency to purchase like new weapons, gear, whatever else is required, with credits. But yeah, that's kind of like my mini breakdown of these last 2 trailers we've gotten. I'm sure we'll get more. We'll probably get an NU one and maybe a Syak one closer to release, which I think for the closed alpha is the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay cool, stay safe, and peace out.